Hello, and welcome to the NVT Phybridge IP Configuration Guide. My name is Nico, and today we'll be changing the IP configuration of your 10G managed switch. To make these configurations, we can connect to our switch through either the uplink ports, downlink ports, management port, or the console port. The console port will require a serial console connection, and will be accessible via a command line interface such as PuTTY. A connection to the management port, uplink port, or downlink port will allow users to configure the switch through either the GUI or a command line interface. The default IP address for accessing the management port is 192.168.1.1, while the uplink and downlink ports for the 10G managed switch are 192.168.100.1. If we are making these changes via the GUI, we can log in with the default username and password. The default username is admin, and the default password is admin. Once we are logged in, we can go into the Ethernet page within the IP config tab and edit the IP address for each VLAN interface. It should be noted that VLAN 1 is the default VLAN for the downlink and uplink port IP address. Changing this IP address will directly affect the uplink and downlink ports of the switch to connect to the rest of your network. VLAN 1001 is strictly used for out-of-band management of the switch, and exclusively affects the management port of the switch. Changing this interface will change the IP address we will use to access the management port exclusively. We can change the IP address of either interface by typing in a new IP address within the text box and selecting Apply. Note that if you do change the IP address of the interface that you are currently connected to, you will likely disconnect from the graphic user interface. This is normal. Simply reconnect and finalize the change by selecting the Save Running Configuration button within the Admin page and in the Setup tab. Changing the IP address via the command line interface, we can connect to the switch by connecting via SSH or Telnet with the IP address of the switch, or via serial console connection with a serial console cable. Once we have established a connection, we will log into the switch with the username admin and the password admin. We will then issue the following commands: configure terminal, interface VLAN 1. We can then change the IP address of VLAN 1 with IP address followed by the IP address of our switch and the subnet mask. We can then use the end command and finally save our configuration with the copy running-config startup-config command. Note that you will lose connections to the switch if these configurations are made via Telnet or SSH. This is fine. We will reconnect using the new IP address and use the copy run start command or copy running-config startup-config to save our configuration. Thank you again for watching the NVT Phybridge IP address configuration guide. All datasheets and configuration commands can be found on our website at nvtphybridge.com. We hope this has been an informative look at changing the IP address of your switch, and we hope you have a wonderful day.